I've seen a lot of things in my life. Things I can't seem to forget. But the thing that impresses me the most above all is how Bruce Shimidzu is able to work out 6 days a week while holding down 3 jobs.
This is Bruce, and Bruce, I actually gotta ask you about your last name. Is it Bruce Shimidzu or Shimidzu?
Yeah, Shimidzu. Yeah, it's a Japanese name.
Neither. I'm not even close. How did you end up with that last name?
I'm actually 1/8 Japanese, so my great-grandfather was from Japan. And so my full name is Robert Bruce Takashi Shimidzu.
Wow, that's incredible. Have you ever went to Japan?
Yeah, I was there last year, actually. So my uncle lives in the south in Fukuoka. And I was out there for about 7 weeks, travelled around a little bit, met my brothers, met a couple of friends, and did a bit by myself. It's a fantastic country.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I was talking to you about earlier, I taught over in Korea for a few years, and it's similar in terms of the, I'd say, landscape. You have a little mountain, you have some mountains and some beaches close by, and the cultures, they're just very respectful from what I've seen over there.
Yeah, it's an amazing part of the world. My brother was in Seoul for a few days before he came to meet me in Japan, and he said it's pretty wild out there. Sounds like a hell of a lot of fun.
It absolutely is. I visited a couple times. Lived in Busan myself for a few years. So yeah, I went to Seoul only visiting, but it was quite the time. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you. I know you're not only working 1 job, 2 jobs. Actually, it sounds like 3. It sounds like you have 2 jobs and then you're a PT as well, correct?
Yeah. I've only got a couple of clients with the PT stuff, but yeah, we're building up slowly but surely.
Along with your YouTube channel, man, you're doing absolutely fantastic. How are you finding the time to work these jobs and also work and keep everything consistent?
Well, there's always time in the day. It just kind of depends on how you like to spend your free time, really. And the YouTube, I find it really enjoyable. And working out, of course, like I was thinking about this earlier, actually. When you first start working out, you kind of find excuses not to work out, and then you get addicted to it. And over a period of time, you start finding excuses to work out. So, there's always time in the day. Yeah, like I say, the editing is quite time consuming, but I enjoy it. So, well, for the time being anyway.
Dude, you're an amazing editor. You always take your camera everywhere you go. You hit different angles. You show different areas of the park. You throw a lot of love and work into your videos. And I think it's very transparent. Is that why, or one of the reasons why you think that your channel is kind of blossoming at this pace? It seems like it's coming and getting very popular very quickly.
Yeah, I think, well, thank you first and foremost for saying that I'm a good editor. I wouldn't go as far as saying that I'm a good editor, but I appreciate your appreciation. Yeah, the channel's going really well. The diet videos didn't do as well as I'd expected, but I think people were asking for them and they thanked me in the comments, the people that were asking. I'm really happy with the channel's progression. I've now got the social media up and running as well, so I wasn't on that for quite some time, but I've got the Instagram and the TikTok now. So yeah, things are certainly going in the right direction.
I absolutely think that's true. And for the people just listening, what kind of style of exercises do you mainly do? What are the reasons for choosing this type of this type of style?
So I do calisthenics, plyometrics, and running predominantly now. I've been working out for about 5 years, and I started off with calisthenics, and then I went to the gym for a few years, and then I did a mixture of both. And for the last year, I've been doing solely bodyweight exercises. Reason being, everything is just incredibly expensive in London right now. My gym membership went up about 20%, and I just, thought I'd save 100 quid a month and spend some more on my food, actually. So I've been spending quite a lot on food. If you've watched my diet videos, you'll know that. And I think calisthenics, for me, it's really special because I really enjoyed lifting weights, and sometimes I do miss it. But calisthenics is so accessible. Anyone can, get down on the floor and do a couple of push-ups or do a couple of squats at home. You don't need any equipment, really. And the calisthenics gyms are prevalent in London. I don't know what it's like in the States or elsewhere, but even when I was in Tokyo last year, I was looking on this website, Calisthenics Parks, and there was a calisthenics park like 5 minutes from my Airbnb. So it's, they're all over, really. So there's no excuses there.
I just noticed while you were talking, I'm like, you know what? He's so articulate. I don't think he said one filler word yet. No ums, no uhs.
Thanks, mate.
Absolutely. So I'm Bruce. I'm about to do a workout. What are some key components that you keep in your workout regimens? What are the patterns that you continue to put in those workouts?
Warming up and warming down is, of course, crucial. I've struggled with injuries in the past because of the lack of a warm up, for instance. And it's incredibly important to stretch as well, especially with the running and the plyometrics. It's very strenuous on your joints and your tendons, and your ligaments, and so on. So I think, warming up, warming down, and stretching are three key components of my workout always. And you want to have a nice balanced workout as well. A nice balanced regime, so to speak. So you want to be training your lower body, your upper body, push, pull, legs, so on.
Did you grow up idolizing any superheroes or any anime characters or anyone in this realm, the calisthenics realm?
Not really, not particularly. Of course, like when I was a little bit younger, I used to watch like YouTube videos, the Chris Harriers, people like that. These massive calisthenics advocates, and of course the stuff that they do is incredible. But yeah, I never really idolized anyone. No, I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, certainly some big players in the game. You can take tips where possible. Yeah.
You know what? You've been working out for 5 years and your progress is really good. Unlike anyone, I think unlike most people when they hit the gym, I don't think that they really have a goal or a certain objective that they're trying to fulfill throughout the day. And you can see that that your objectives are being hit. Your shoulders are popping, your obliques, the abs, everything. Diet's on point. I guess before we get about talking about your diet, have you always been this disciplined? Have you always been into exercise? Have you played sports growing up?
Not really. I only really got into exercise and found a passion for it when I was about 17 years old. As a child, I was very small. I only really had my growth spurt at about 17 or 18. So before that, I was about 5'5", probably 50 kilograms. So very skinny. And I used to play a little bit of football. Like it's quite a normal thing to do in London, just a little kick around like once or twice a week. And I've cycled for quite a while, so that's kind of like built a decent foundation. But yeah, I never really got that into it. Like I said, I was very small and very slow, so I was basically shit at sports. But yeah, when I turned 17, that all kind of changed. I found the gym, went through some hardship in life, found the gym, and it's something that I just haven't really had any doubt in my mind about. I think it benefits not only your body, but your mind, to an incredible extent. I think it's fantastic. And then I only really got super consistent with it over the last maybe 2.5 years. So by that, I mean sort of training 5 to 6 times a week.
Okay, so it was a slow progression, kind of like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
You said you encountered a little hiccup somewhere down the way. Was that more of like a physical or kind of a mental thing you're going through at that time?
More mental, yeah. Just some family stuff. Maybe I'll get into it at some point, but not yet.
Hey, no problem. All respect to that.
Yeah.
I interviewed somebody not too long ago. His name is B4 Flex, amazing individual. And he talked about his hardship openly on his YouTube channel, which is why I went into it a little bit as well. The individual has worked through depression and openly suicidal thoughts, and working out was something that changed his life. Well, he was working out before, but while pursuing boxing, it helped him get out of his mental headspace. For working out, what are some benefits that you've realized in your life?
So I think what you just said there is a perfect example of someone that's gone through some seriously messed up issues and come out the other side. And one of the benefits of exercise is that it can really just help your mind as well as your body. I think it's incredibly important, like the endorphin rush that you get off it, and it makes you more confident and it makes you more more comfortable in your own skin. And of course, looking better helps with that as well. I think it also teaches you discipline, teaches you regiment, how to structure your routine around exercise and work, and trying to balance the two. It takes a while to come to terms with and figure out what works for you, but once you get there, it's a fucking fantastic feeling.
I couldn't agree more. With dieting and supplementing, we talk about appearance is important as well. Diet kind of goes hand in hand with that. Diet and supplements, are there any, well, I won't say, I guess we could say diets. Any diet that you're on? Are you like on keto? I know you're not on carnivore, but what kind of stuff do you eat and what kind of supplements do you take?
So I've released some videos recently surrounding my diet, and I'll just try and break them down as briefly as I can. So I eat a lot of protein and not that many carbs. So it's not quite keto. It's relatively like relaxed, my diet. Like I do give myself a little sweet treat here and there because I've got a massive sweet tooth. But a lot of beef, a lot of chicken. I have some fancy meat, maybe once or twice a week. So some venison, some veal, things like that. Lots of vegetables, lots and lots of fruit. I love fruit, and that helps with the sweet tooth as well. Some rice occasionally, and occasionally a bit of pasta, but I'd say maybe once or twice a week with heavy carbs like that. The bread, the rice, the pasta. I'd say maybe twice a week.
I saw your video where you were eating a little bit of pasta and you were talking about how great it was in terms of taste, but it kind of made you not feel the best. Are there certain foods that you operate better on workouts, like higher fats, lower carbs, or vice versa?
Yeah, so I actually work out on an empty stomach because I like working out in the mornings. So I just get up whenever I do get up, usually around 6:30 or 7, and I just get out the door basically straight away. A little bit of water, brush my teeth, out the door. And I find that works best for me, but it's important to fuel your body up in the correct manner, for instance, like the night before and throughout the day. So everyone goes on about the keto diet, right? Getting into ketosis, the fat burning and so on. And I think there's definitely something in that. I'm just not massively strict in that regard. Like if you watch my diet videos, I eat like a lot of calories. And to be honest, counting my macros for the first time was eye-opening. I didn't know I was eating between 4,000 and 6,000 calories a day. But I burn a lot of calories as well. So I think it kind of makes sense. In terms of fueling your body, I'm back on the creatine now as well. So that is a supplement that I would highly recommend to anyone doing a significant amount of exercise. I went through a period about 2 years ago now where I was bulking for about 4 months, and I was on the protein powder. I don't know if you've heard of Serious Mass, Optimum Nutrition. It's about 1,500 calories per shake. So I'd have 2 of them a day and just about 1 kilogram of chicken thighs and loads of rice, loads of broccoli, the basic diet basically. And don't get me wrong, the intended result was achieved, but it fucked me up. Like my skin was all greasy, I was spotty. I would get home, have dinner, have a protein shake, and I'd just be paralyzed for about an hour. It's like you're force feeding yourself at that point, and I wouldn't recommend that to people. But I think I achieved what I intended to do. So yeah.
I like that you for one were aware of the foods that you're putting in your body and the results afterwards, because when you're young, and by the way, how old are you?
I'm 22.
I tell you, man, I was nowhere near you at 22, mentally or physically? I mean, shoot, I'm still not on your level physically.
Man,
my
we're all working towards the same goal, aren't we? Really.
my boy is diced.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
For your for the plyometric. So when you're on your YouTube channel, you don't only show your workouts, you show your diet, but you also show different workouts. So plyometrics and yoga were the ones that stood out for me because I'm actually a big advocate of yoga myself. I do hot yoga, I do yin, deep stretches, and I've done some meditations as well. What improvements do the plyometrics and the yoga offer you? And do you have a top 3 favorite of the plyometrics and top 3 favorite of the yoga stretches?
So in terms of plyometrics, the benefits that I see are just lower body explosiveness, and it makes you feel dynamic. Brilliant for track and field, and if you play any sports like football, basketball, American football, all of those top athletes will be doing plyometrics. It makes you feel explosive and like I say, dynamic. And in terms of the top 3 plyometric movements, that is a tough one. I mean, pogo jumps are brilliant, like pogo jumps with a single leg, double leg, single leg with the switches. Explosive squats are brilliant, and I love tuck jumps as well. I think those are all quite good for running and also basketball as well because of the vertical. Yoga. So I don't actually do yoga, but I used to do martial arts. So my stretching routines that you see on my videos on my channel, they will be derived from like my martial arts that I did. I only did it till I was about 10 years old, but yeah, I've always tried to be quite flexible, and I think if you're running and doing a lot of exercise, stretching is crucial. So I try to stretch at least 4 or 5 times a week for about half an hour every session, just in the evenings after I've had dinner or whenever I can fit it in, really. Top 3 stretches. Oof, God, you're testing me now. I'm just gonna go for the basic ones: the deep squat, deep lunge, and I don't know what this one's called actually, but the hip flexor stretch where you've got your shin up against the wall and you sort of lean into. I don't know what that one's called, but I think any runners listening will know what I'm talking about. Those are my top 3.
Excellent. Thank you for those. And are there any channels that you watch on YouTube that you'd recommend to people? Like, how are you finding these routines to do? I saw that you were in the comment section below that you were either coached by a Fred. I don't know if that was a joke or if that was serious. What are some things you've learned from him, if it's true, and things that you found on YouTube that help?
Coached by Fred? No, I'm not sure if I've watched any of his videos. Let me think. So I don't really watch that much YouTube anymore because obviously we were speaking earlier about my busy schedule and so on. But some of the channels that I used to watch, Chris Herrier, I think we mentioned, he's got some great ab routines. Who else? This guy Marcus Rios, I think he's a plyometrics guy. He used to play American football. He's in New York, I think. He's like massive and incredibly quick and incredibly dynamic. So I found him very useful and quite inspiring. Actually, I think he originally got me into the plyometrics. I saw him doing that. I was like, oh, wow, I could do that. I could be that dynamic. No, it's really not that easy. And yeah, the one thing I would say about plyometrics, you've got to be seriously careful. The warm up and warm down is even more crucial with them than it is for just normal calisthenics because they're so the exercises, the movements are so strenuous. So yeah, do be careful and watch my stretching video. Yeah, I think those 2 were definitely people that I have listened to in the past. Yeah.
So for the goals and the plans moving forward, do you plan on competing in any street lifting competitions? I know that you run. Are you about to be doing any marathons or any competitions coming up?
So I'm not planning to do any street lifting competitions or anything, although I wouldn't be against it. Certainly an idea that I could get behind. I am planning to do a marathon later this year. So I've got about 5 months of training left. I was originally going to go for sub 4, but now I think that might be a bit too easy. So I might go for sub 3.5. I think sub 3 is a bit too ambitious, but I will be raising money for that, for a charity. I'm going to release a video on my training and my diet regimen and how it's changed for the marathon training. Now I'm running sort of like 3 or 4 times a week and some quite long distances as well. So of course that's going to affect the other parts of your routine quite a lot. Can't train upper body as much, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I think it's something that I'm really looking forward to. This will be my first marathon and probably the first of many, I think.
Future Ironman is what you're looking at right now. What role, since you've been doing this YouTube, I think one of your latest videos was like 9 months, 10 months ago is kind of when you hopped on YouTube, and you started from 0 subscribers. And then all of a sudden you hopped up to, I think are you past 7,000 subscribers at this moment?
8, yeah, almost at 8.
Before you started YouTube and really uploading a lot and actively, has anything changed in terms of your ideas towards YouTube? What initially got you onto social media showing your workouts?
So if I'm being honest with myself, and you, of course, it's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time. And I was always quite scared about what other people would think. And it's silly, really, because I wasn't scared about what my friends would think, because I know they would support me in anything that I'm doing. Same goes for my family. No, it was people that I would see maybe like once or twice a year that I didn't even really know. I was thinking about what they would think. And then I went out to Japan and I found myself. No, I'm joking. No, I went out to Japan and I met some famous YouTubers out there, actually. So they got like 5 million subscribers, and they took me out for dinner and we had a great time together. I spent about 2 days with them and they inspired me. I did a few videos with them as well, and it just made me think, you know what, people are out here and they're creating content for other people's benefit, and I think I can do that. And I think hopefully the way that exercise has affected my life, I hope it can do the same for other people, because it's been just incredible. It's helped me through a lot, and I hope that it can do the same for others.
I love that, man. I'm not a smart man. I am not. There's a lot of things that I don't have, but I'd say one thing that I do have is I'd say I'm pretty observant. And when I look at people and I watch their YouTube channels and the people that I like, I see a similarity. They're very aware of themselves and their goal, and they're very humble. When you're making these videos, you can truly see that you're trying to educate people and show them the most optimal exercises so that they can reap the benefits. And I think that's very transparent. And personally, that's why I think that your channel is doing and going to do extremely well. I see you being one of those YouTubers that hit 1 million plus. If you do, absolutely, if you do continue, and I think you will, because I think it's in your heart, and helping people, I think, is within your heart too. We've been talking a lot about exercising and calisthenics and what you do in terms of activity, but let's talk about a little bit about what you like to do outside of calisthenics. Do you hang out with people? Do you have the time for fun?
Yeah. I make time for the people that I love, most definitely, my friends, my family, and I like to go out and have dinner, and it's not like I'm just locked up inside all day just working away. No, I like to go out and have fun. I also read quite a lot, journal. I like writing things down, mainly introspective thoughts, things that I think that I could be doing better, things like that. I read a lot of philosophy. I quite enjoy that. I don't really watch too much TV. I think it's a bit of a waste of time. But if that's how you decide to spend your free time, and it, take your foot off the gas and it relaxes you and it makes you comfortable, then by all means. Just a lot of editing at the moment, to be honest. But like I say, I enjoy making this content, and I really do believe in everything that I'm pushing, and I think people can benefit from it. So we're reaching for the stars, my friend, reaching for the stars.
Absolutely, 100%. We don't have to talk about the tribulations, but like earlier mentally, but physically, have you had any trials and tribulations inside of calisthenics and working out?
Yeah, definitely early on, you make the mistakes. Lack of warm-up, lack of stretching, and especially when you're playing sports. For instance, my last injury was actually about 1.5 years ago, and that was through playing football. I just went straight out onto the field, no warm-up, and I pulled like a ligament in my groin, and really painful. But this is why I try and film my warm-ups every time I film a video. It's because it is really, really crucial to treat your body correctly and make sure that you're ready for the test that you're about to put it through.
I totally agree with you. One thing that everyone's asking for, workout program.
Yeah.
Do you have one? And if not, when are we going to get one? If we are.
Yeah. So this is something I'm working on. And I think, to be honest, it's a constant progression. Your workout plan always changes quite a lot. Especially for this marathon training, I'm running quite a lot more. I wouldn't like to be running this much, to be honest. I'd quite like to focus on the strength training a little bit more, but that will come after August. But yeah, just to break it down and make it quite simple, I work out 6 times a week. I have 1 rest day because I think that's also important. You need to rest your CNS, your central nervous system, and take your foot off the gas and give yourself a little break. I run 3 times a week, and I do 3 strength training sessions per week. So push, pull, legs, and then 3 runs.
That is crazy. For most people, I think they need, like, for seeing how hard like you work out in your exercises, just anyone watch his YouTube channel. If you find him from this podcast or interview, go over to Bruce's YouTube channel and look at the work that he puts into his workouts. Doing that along with stretching, working 2 plus the PT job, the time, the sacrifice that that you have to make in order to make that happen. It takes such discipline. There's not a lot of people like you at 22 that are presenting themselves the way that you are on YouTube.
Thank you.
I guess that wasn't really a question. It was just like, how the hell are you doing this? I think I'm doing 2 heavy lifts a week, and then 2 hot yoga sessions, which is kind of like a workout in itself. And then I'll try to do like some plyometrics once a week, and my body is like fried. So my hat's off to you, my friend.
But that's brilliant. You're working out basically 5 times a week. And I think for a while, I was only doing 3 or 4 sessions a week. I think you're already quite far down the path. And it's incredible to see the work that you're putting in and hear that from another person. But even if, to people out there who are just starting out, you have to start somewhere and just do a little bit here and there, even if it's a couple of push-ups in the morning and a couple of squats in the evening. Just slowly build it up, and you will get addicted to it. I can promise you that. And it's probably the healthiest addiction to have.
With social media, it's been blossoming for you. You said initially going into this, you met somebody in Japan and they inspired you, and you felt like you could also offer these benefits to everyone watching your YouTube channel. And I think that's very apparent. What purpose going forward would you like to have? What purpose would you like your videos to portray in the future? And have they shifted from the very beginning till now, your goals and objectives?
In the beginning, it was more of a hobby. And now it is, like you say, blossomed, and I appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much. And it's we're certainly getting there. We're moving in the right direction. I think my goals and ambitions have changed somewhat. So, like I say, I'm doing this marathon later this year, and I'm going to do a fundraiser for a specific charity. I won't disclose which charity yet, but I will in the video very soon. Growing up in London, you see like a lot of disparity, and I think that raising money for charity is certainly one of my main objectives right now. Like, I'm not trying to push any specific agenda, but I see, inequality like everywhere in this city, and it's really sad to see. There's a lot of people struggling, and I would like to make a difference. And in times of like rising mental health issues and rising depression issues and obesity and anxiety and things like that, I think that exercise plays a fundamental role in our society, and it really is a force for good. So yeah, we've got some ideas, and we've got some plans about how to really make a difference in the world. I know this is big talk for 8,000 subscribers, but but we've got to start somewhere.
Dude, absolutely. And the way that the algorithm works, like it hits and then it doesn't. I've seen, not on my channel, but on people I've interviewed. My first interview was I Am Longevity. He's a 61-year-old, I believe, at this moment. And he is really into plyometrics. He talks about motor units and their importance and how they're going to keep everyone young. And when I interviewed him, I think he had about 80,000 or 70,000. And then 1 month, it was like not a lot. He was actually losing subscribers. And then this past month, he's gained another 22,000. So he's now above 100,000. So Brilliant. It's like a video hits and then people stick around. So it's just doing exactly what you're doing, man. Like, I know you're going to be doing great things. I know you're going to be getting some momentum coming your way. So I'm very interested to see how your channel ends up turning out. If you could be another Thin X guy.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, Bruce X. I see it now.
Probably get done for copyright infringement on that one.
Man, Bruce, I want to say thank you. I've reached out to Bruce a few times. I'm like, bro, please, man, we gotta interview. And he was always very kind, and he made the time for me. Even working 3 jobs and working out 6 days a week, he was able to have time for me. And I respect that, man. I respect what you're doing. I love it. And the energy in your videos is there. And that's why I wanted to reach out to you. I was like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
I gotta have that guy.
Oh, well, thank you, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And maybe one day I'll make it out to the States. I've never been over that side of the pond, but if I do make it, I'll hit you up, man. We'll go for a little session.
Dude, please do. You'll be showing me up. Yeah. I'll be dying. But any closing statements? Like, if you had any words of advice or words of wisdom for your viewers or listeners, any message?
Oof. I feel like the whole world is listening, mate. No, thank you, everyone, for the support that you've given me thus far. It really does mean a hell of a lot. And this is only the beginning. I think that I've got really big plans for this YouTube channel, and even further than the YouTube channel. I think that collectively we can make a difference, and let's make it more of a sociable environment working out. Because a lot of people kind of see the gym as this very closed off environment where people don't really connect. And this is why I think what you're doing is fantastic, mate. You're bringing people on, and you're connecting on a personal level with them and getting them to tell their story. So yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing. And to everyone out there, just baby steps. You've got to start somewhere.
Hell yeah. Bruce, thank you again, man. I couldn't be more happy to have you on the channel and proud of what you're doing. I look forward to seeing what you're doing in the future, and I will definitely stay in touch.
Thank you very much, my friend. Let's speak soon.
Absolutely.